Let's talk about driving economic growth. And for that, we're joined by Mr. Johnson Chukwu, the Managing Director of Cowrie Asset Management, and he joins us via Skype. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So everywhere in the world, public-private partnerships is a way of addressing infrastructure gaps, which ultimately aids economic development. How impactful would you say this funding model is in Nigeria?
Interestingly, we've not seen so many successful public-private partnerships, particularly in the area of infrastructure in the country. We've tried it in a number of cases. We've tried the Lagos Expressway. It was bought by the government. We tried the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. It didn't work. But now we have maybe what you may call a proof of concept, the Lagos second local airport terminal that is still under private sector management. I mean, private-public partnership. The public-private sector built it and is still managing it. But the problem we have in the past cases is that either the legal framework was faulty or the commercial framework was also not tenable. And we've also had instances where the government decided to buy back the concession and therefore did not allow the arrangement to run its full life. We even have a recent case where the second measure bill was given out to the private sector to build under the sovereign wealth fund leadership. Unfortunately, that was also reversed and brought back into the budget framework. So we've not had too many of such instances, but it's a model that we should spend a lot of our resources to make sure it works, because it helps us close the infrastructure gap we have in the country.
So public-private partnerships, we all know, allow government funds to be directed to important socio-economic areas. What areas do you think urgently need efficient PPP intervention that will produce multiplier effects for the economy, going by what you also explained earlier?
I think it has to be mostly in infrastructure. I would have also added the energy, the power sector, but the power sector is now fully privatized apart from the transmission grid. So, but the area that we have severe infrastructure for infrastructure, we don't have efficient rail system in the country, we don't have very good highways, and we don't have even efficient seaports. So we need to look at these areas and bring in private capital to build the seaports, modern seaports. We have locations that are good for deep seaports, but they're not developed. We have commercially viable rail corridors that are not built. And then we have some arterial highways that we have not built because the government does not have the way we have the current financial resource to build those things. We need to focus first on transport infrastructure and bring in private capital to help us close the gap.
Right. So one of the benefiting sectors is obviously aviation. A good example is the Murtala Mohammed Airport too, which will easily pass for that. Obviously, it was executed in partnership with a big private entity. Now, the question is, how many private sector players have the capacity to undertake such major projects, bearing in mind the required quality?
Well, interestingly, there are several private sector investors that want to take up critical infrastructure, irrespective of the amount involved. The basic thing is this: the funding does not necessarily have to come exclusively from the local capital market or local money market. Such infrastructure, once it's commercially viable and you have put in place the necessary risk mitigation system in place, you will attract capital from outside the country. I don't expect that if we actually concession some of these critical infrastructure that they will only be taken up by local concessionaires, you're going to also attract foreign investors that want to bid and build and manage some of this infrastructure. So it is not limited, the funding will not be limited to what's available within the Nigerian economic space. You will have foreign investors, foreign investors that want to invest in such infrastructure as long as they are commercially viable and you have put in place mitigating factors against government revoking those contracts.
Right. Managing Director, Cowrie Asset Management, Mr. Johnson Chukwu, thank you for talking to us today on Africa 54.
My pleasure.
We want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we cover. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is Africa 54, and check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. Coming up, Morocco launches an agriculture initiative to reduce migration and encourage youth to farm again.